Hey,
gas
what's
is
up,
getting
boys?
still fighting.
We're gonna be playing Tank Agni today. And, basically the idea is just to see how much damage we can tank and mitigate without dying too much. This is probably gonna go terribly because I'm tired, but, a friend of mine asked me to play this, and I didn't feel like waiting on him to join me or anything to play it. So I was like, well, I'll just do it right now and record it. And then I can upload it to YouTube for them and anyone else to watch it later. So, shout out to my friend who likes to laugh at when they die. So hopefully they can laugh at when I die. If I have some especially funny laughs, I'm sure they'll let me know. Don't forget to put something in the comments below, to like, and to subscribe. Thank you. Or as Solo Double J likes to say, all that sellout stuff. I don't think it's sellout. I think it's the right way to support content creators you like. Every like is one less.
Every day wears you down. We can't let them win.
We're just gonna go beads, default. We've got a Thoth, Loki, Achilles, Bellona, Chiron. Chiron's not too worrying as far as the CC goes, but the rest of them they've got solid CC. Bellona's ult, normally better as a safety dash, but she can use it as a commit to kill. We're playing Tank Agni, so we're just gonna go for something super tanky. Normally I would consider like a Warrior's Axe or Sentinel's Gift.
Quiet. New trench coat.
Ultra 5, I'm gonna do this.
No. Quiet.
I'm gonna make sure that my
No. Quiet.
voice chat
You rock. No. You rock. You rock.
to talk.
You rock.
And now that I don't have it enabled. And we have some people spamming you rock and stuff, so I missed execution. We gotta be fast.
Ready.
Dashing through my pass likes it, but I see it. Dashing here fast. I really okay, now we're gonna go ahead and try to clear this way. Back. It's good timing because we're out of mana. Now, I'm actually gonna go for
First blood.
cooldown
Clear it
boots.
proudly. You rock.
The reason why we're going for cooldown boots is that we really just want to get some cooldown with Agni after all. This character, especially with our ults. Really want to do as much as possible. It's literally all of your abilities.
I don't know what I expected.
Refill some mana here real quick. Not much, nothing much is going on. Last hit that minion. Last hit that minion. Hold off the last hits. Do a special email around, like, from a certain era. Clear that way, get that good XP. Shift the stock, get a little
Why can't you be more like your ally?
I wanted to kill there, but it backed off on its own. Now it's 900 for the tier 1 cooldown of Predwin. We're gonna rush into it. The reason why we're rushing money here, but typically where I was going to go with this is that we want to wait a bit longer so we can get tier 2. Right now it's gonna be kind of awkward because right after I leave, I'm gonna have enough money
Silly ally.
for it.
That is
But
your enemy.
I didn't have a choice because I said
You've defied all
and then yeah,
expectations.
we basically bombed the goodness gracious out of that Achilles. But we just wanted to be there for the fight as soon as we built up on our resources. And I think it's opposite
An enemy has been slain.
Nice job for that team. Solid kill. Let's see how he beats him. Little Loki and Neith going negative, but the rest of us are doing fine. The only one who's 1-0 at the moment. It's unfortunate because it's not really here.
And so, our hero's story begins.
So we're just going to disengage here. We're going to go ahead and take this opportunity to F5 win.
This must be how
We
your
have enough
parents
gold that
feel.
we're actually going to grab. Not
2
5.
for 1. What a bargain.
So we'll do that. Just to give us a bit more sustain. Hopefully not to get poked out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, that was honestly the source. The gold was kind of low, so that was a Thoth ult. I'm not sure who's wanting to hit, but
Your team did something.
doesn't look like he did much there, and he died. He might have seen that I was low and wanted to go for me. But I was so far away that if I wasn't on the game, I wouldn't even see that one coming. Just like that. I was mindful beforehand. Just hold this on the way. I'm just here because there's a lull, and I'm not really interested in fighting. I really just want to execute this. The cooldown's helpful. Now
Why
that
can't you be
40%
more like your
cooldown
ally?
on Eva, giving that nice cooldown.
Unlike his victim, our hero is destined to continue living.
Just gonna upgrade my ass here, just because if I'm not using my 2, I want it to be able to do a little bit more damage to the wave. Anyway, so we're going for full tank, so we need to start transitioning into more defensive items. I think right now at this point in the game, a little bit of health will help more. I don't want to like fully commit to like a simple guy. Really, notice how it doesn't.
Be mad.
Yes. Oh no, the
Killing spree.
Hey, I should. Yep, there it goes. Now we're gonna look to bomb it.
Retreat!
We're gonna disengage. We don't want to do. Put a little bit of distance.
An ally has been slain. I don't know what I expected.
Defend artillery fire!
I beat. It was slow enough. You died. I really shouldn't have stood there as long as I did. And actually, ideally, I would have done that the other way and or pre-beating my dash.
An enemy has been slain.
That's honestly just me sticking around too long. That's my fault. Unfortunate because I was not negative. But it is what it is.
Yeah, that makes
I'm gonna
sense.
finish this metal renewal. Calling it Thieves would be nice, but here I'm actually doing more clearing of waves while my team's fighting than anything. Now's about the time I should be able to start fighting. But that thought was still gonna poke me. So we gotta be mindful. Now, I'm really concerned about that Thoth.
And so,
Specifically.
our hero's story
So I'm gonna
begins.
go for the Oni Hunters. Now this doesn't give me as much protection as the PNG, so it doesn't give me cooldown. But what it does give
Your team did something.
and that is the extra percent mitigation. Now, it used to be really good. Mitigations involved back in the day.
Minions have reached your
But
portal.
unfortunately that's not the case anymore.
Why can't you be more
Stunning
like your ally?
landing the last hit there, which is nice after the tier push into it.
Camouflage.
We basically got womboed. But now it only gives 9%, so it's not as good. It only gives 60 or 65. 60, yeah. 60 mitigation, so you can see I get that extra 9%. And this is arena, so I'm almost always getting it. Not building conquest. It's just not as good.
Artillery fire.
Stay back. Anyways, I'm gonna save this last ult though, just in case. Poke him. Show him that we're
This must be how your parents feel.
So what I did is find one down.
I like the way you press them buttons, boy. Rampage.
Get some burn. Artillery fire. I got 5 seconds. Seriously. That dead body.
Silly ally. Death is for enemies.
Slow off of his Q. I got hit by his mark is what it was. So when he was his Q, Iron Cleanse kind of sucks playing this.
I bet he saw that going.
So he got the last hit there. That was good. That was solid. Just a little bit of value here and there. Got 5 assists and 1 kill, so 6 out of 10.
This must be how your parents feel.
The real problem here is that even with kills, really to be a lot so I don't want to be around for that.
Your team did something. Yeah, that makes
My
sense.
load away. One is really what's going to enable me to save my allies. So if I'm not careful with it, then it's not going to matter. Now, because I have all of the really taking almost negative damage from that Achilles ult, which is a good thing. It's saving range. I'd like to do more with the friends about the moment.
I don't know what I
Offer did less than you need that.
An ally has been slain. I don't know what I expected.
And that's really all there is to it.
Okay, no one's back.
You rock, you rock, you rock.
I'm trying to rock.
Alright, so kill the guy. And so our hero's story begins.
was considering hitting the, I wasn't going to be able to kill that Thoth, and I don't want to chase because then I just died to Kyra. I was considering hitting the Kyra, to see how the last died. I accepted this.
Retreat!
This must be how your parents feel.
But, you know, so I flicked to the left just because the enemy was there. It's fortunate. That's something to keep in mind is if you change where you're aiming with Agni on, so I'm not poked out here, so I'm going to die. Poke in, or I have a chance. Pull down. Let's do it. I'm gonna try to get some pressure on top.
An enemy has been slain.
Let's step up here.
Silly ally. Death for enemies. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's unfortunate.
Double kill.
It's really the time.
Killing spree. Triple kill.
I enabled that though.
3 + 1 is 4. Good man. Unlike his victims, our hero was destined. I like the part where they all died.
Show's over. Goodbye. Good game.
So I'm next level, so I want to finish off Sentinel Skip. We're gonna go for Sentinel Skip. Miami guys with that 4% of the health remaining. It's gonna be really nice. Obviously, the downside of Arena is that when you get stuff like this online, you know, but in general, for most of it,
I don't know what I expected.
they were really wanting to go on me, which honestly doesn't make sense.
I like the way you press them buttons, boy.
Paying too much attention to my build. And so you got 3 and 11, 1, 7, 8, 6, 2, 2, and unfortunately I can't tell you what the tier did. We'll look after the game. And then we'll have to see what it's like. So we've got top player damage on our Donza, top assist on our Neath, top assist must be tied for equal assist and mitigated. Okay, so I did not do well is the moral of that story, which is fair. I was playing a mage, I was staying out of range. Yeah, I definitely could have tanked more damage, especially towards the end of that game. This is why I personally don't find it to be worth it. Keep in mind, I got 1 less kill than our Loki, but did almost as much damage. That really goes to show how trash our Loki was, and how he needs to work on his damage or his focus compared to me. Keep in mind, I'm playing a troll tank build, so keep that in mind here. Because you shouldn't be doing as much damage as somebody who has a low-nose mask giving negative 15% damage. You should be doing way more. And the Neath also should be doing more, especially later on in the game. Let's look at her build. This is why. You don't build tank boots attack speed. You do no damage at all with this. This isn't worth it. And for the character. This is also not worth it. This is fine. But that is just negative damage potential. Is what that really is. That is not the way you build crit. If you want to build crit, make sure to go attack speed or power boots. Don't build Odysseus bow. Build Iqbal, which is really strong, especially if you're fighting another hunter. And or build the Silver Branch bow. So if you overcap attack speed, don't build Poison Star. Always build Wind Demon if you're going to build in that tree. Or the anti-heal one you could. You're going to want Rage if you go Deathbringer. And the reason why is because Rage and Deathbringer just gives you so much crit. Or Deathbringer and the crit bow, I forget the name of it off the top of my head, is what you can build on Hunters. It gives great cooldown. It would be a much better option than the Malice. So she needs more power and attack speed. And this is just not how you do that. Negative power, negative mana, okay attack speed. You can get 25, you can get 30% off an Iqbal, plus a 25% or 20% off of attack speed boots. So right there, you'd have more attack speed doing it that way. And with the Ick value, you're reducing your enemy's damage output. You're getting 75 power when it has full stacks, plus the 25 power boost. So that's 100 power versus the 10 in the first two items. So that's exactly why he changed stuff like that. So that's why she did so bad. As well as she could probably work on her positioning. Don't build med. If you're gonna build a relic that gives you healing, build a bracer. Now if you're Loki, Loki made a very unwise mistake, and that was two things. One, diving in at the worst of times with no defenses. Two, he played Loki. Do I need to say anything else? How to say this? Danza is a good example of what you do when you build crit. You don't go full crit. That's not the right way, but if you're going to go quote full crit, that's Deathbringer in range. So if you want to go the right way, you get your power. You need power. So Bloodforge here gives lifesteal. I really normally don't prefer to stack it with Death's Toll, Asai, and Bloodforge. That's way too much lifesteal in my opinion. But nonetheless, he has lifesteal. He has a 75 power item, which could have been Silver Branch. He has that Wind Demon I mentioned. That's worth getting. It's expensive. It's not as good as it was earlier this year, but it's still good. It's 20% crit chance. You got your Deathbringer. And so that means almost every other auto, on an average, because, you know, it's random, you will be critting. That's actually a good thing. Keep in mind also that if you miss a crit, the game biases it so you're more likely to crit the next time. And so this can, with like 60+% crit, you've really reached the most value per amount of crit chance you have, which translates into crit chance per gold spent. Keep that in mind. Deathbringer is really expensive. After you build the 1500 tier 2, it's another 1650 to build it. You still only be 3000 gold. They increased the bonus damage from 25%. That or they decreased it from 50% to 30%. It didn't used to always be this way. You must reform parties or may have issues with matchmaking services. Better fix this matchmaking. This matchmaking is terrible. I went 2-2 as a tank Agni. And this is the team I end up with. The only way we win is if I played something, mind you, that wasn't a tank. And that I went damage because my team was not doing it. And I'd have to get, let's see here, the kill difference, 18 and 31 kills and deaths versus 31 18. So we had 18, they had 31. So ignoring whether or not minions were going into portal, I would need another 13 kills. So I'd need to be 15 and 2 right now as a damage build to make up for this team that overall did not do well to start with. And then going on from that, if we go over and we look at our assists, I didn't do that. I did fine. I participated in more than half the kills, 12. So if you count assists and kills, that's how many kills you were involved in doing damage or something to the person who died. So I did have decent participation. It's not as good as it could have been. Like this person, 15 and 13. That means he had 28 out of 31. He only missed 3 kills. That means he was basically always fighting, always involved, right? I could definitely have done to improve how much I was directly involved, but I think I was pretty solid. I wasn't as good as Ardanza, who was literally involved in every kill. And I think if we go back and look at his stats, we'll see he is positive KD. He has the most damage on our team, which admittedly is not the best damage, but it's damage. Okay, and so that's one thing. Also, see this. This is what I'm talking about with Thoth getting poked. This is why I was sort of staying back. Thoth just pokes you and pokes you and pokes you until he kills you. That's how he consistently gets this damage number, because he consistently distributes damage the entire game. He pokes. Now, there's a difference between high damage and having a low damage but a high KD. You can legitimately have 11k damage and have 5 kills. That means you've killed someone with an HP bar of 2000 5 times. That's what that means. So you can have a low damage number and have earned the kill. My low damage number is from doing the exact same thing as Thoth. I poked, he poked. Difference is, he's a full damage mage with safe range. I am Agni with tank items. That's the difference. So there's a reason why he has that damage number, and there's a reason why it's that high. If you want to look at something impressive, you want to consider someone like Achilles, who, yes, admittedly has relatively strong damage, but to do 28 in K and be involved in everything, right? He does not earn this 15K damage, the 15 kills. But I tell you one thing, he definitely deserves to have more kills than a Thoth who's always poking. There's a difference between always poking and full healthing somebody. People don't keep in mind how often we go back to base, and so this damage number includes damage that was healed that did not lead to a kill. You can notice how I went back to base. So people make the mistake of thinking damage means anything. It's good. It tells you whether or not you were involved, especially when you look at the KD with the assist, right? So this person was hecka involved. This person was involved, but actually didn't do as much as the Achilles. This person was way less involved. Maybe he didn't do as much as the Chiron. The Chiron had more poke. He did more in a team fight. But this guy, he may have secured relative to his team. This guy was hopefully just a tank. Yeah, he was just a tank. You'll notice he actually overall between mitigated and taken took 2k less. That's okay. Bellona's really hard to do right now. You would really want to get a bit more auto attack in there, and if we go and look at their build, which is what's curious, you can see that they actually do have some, hey, I'm going to slow you, I'm going to counter your crit. Oh yeah, that hard counters crit, it's super bad. What people may not believe it, but it does. Because it basically says, hey, this crit that does double damage, it actually does less than double damage now. And if you have Deathbringer, it's almost a normal amount, but it just doesn't, this basically destroys crit. That and Get destroys crit. This is why in Arena, if you're seeing this and you're a tank, you build special armor. Okay, anyways, enough of like after game educational stuff. I hope y'all enjoyed. Remember, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and if you're still here and listen to me talking, I hope I had something that was of value, and honestly, I am surprised and grateful that you listened to me. I hope you have a wonderful day. See you next time.